Okay, today we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. This is something you learned back in geometry, and we are going to make sure that you understand it today in Algebra 2. So parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines with exactly the same slope, but a different y-intercept. This is denoted with the two lines, L's that are slanted or italicized. What I need your brain to think about is same letter, same slope. So every time I say parallel, you need to say same letter in the equation and the same slope is going to be what you will have every time. Perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are lines whose are negative reciprocals. And this is denoted with an upside down T. And this is going to be the opposite letter and opposite reciprocal. Opposite letter, so if it's X, then it's going to be Y. If it's Y, then it's going to be X, okay? And it's going to be the opposite reciprocal, okay? What do I mean by that? Well, here's my original slope. My original slope is 5, so my parallel slope is going to be 5, okay? However, my perpendicular slope is going to be the reciprocal, and then the opposite of positive is negative. My slope is 2/3, so my parallel slope is 2/3. And then my perpendicular is opposite is negative and reciprocal is 3/2. Okay, parallel slope is going to be 0. And then the opposite of 0 is going to be undefined. Okay. M is equal to -7/9. That's going to be the same slope. And then this is going to be opposite reciprocal, 9/7. Undefined. Same slope is still going to be parallel, is going to be undefined, but opposite is going to be 0. And then my slope for parallel is going to be 10, and then my perpendicular is -1/10. So you need to make sure that you understand that first of all before you can go any further, okay? Biggest thing I need your brain to remember is the slope pick. When you are on the mountain, you will have y and x in the equation. When you are not on the mountain and you're just on level ground, you're going to have y equals a number. And whenever you are on the cliff, you are going to have x equals a number. Super important, and it's undefined. So now, given the equation 2x plus 7 is equal to 0, find the parallel line through the point -5, 8. Parallel line through the point -5, 8. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this equation, and we're going to solve this thing for x. So 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to -7, so x is equal to -7/2. Now, remember I told you parallel means same letter, same slope. So in this case, I want a parallel line that goes through -5, -8. Parallel means I have to have the same letter. So if I'm having the same letter, that means it's x equals. Well, what does x equal in this ordered pair? X is equal to -5 in that ordered pair, so therefore, I have to have a parallel line that looks similar to my parallel line here. So if this is x equals -7/2, this has to be an x equals a number. And the number it has to equal is the coordinate in the x value of that coordinate, okay? So now, perpendicular is going to be the opposite letter. So perpendicular is opposite. What is opposite of x? Well, what is opposite of x is going to be y. And then again, we are going to be looking at this ordered pair. And what is the y coordinate of that ordered pair? It is going to be 8. So your equation is going to be y equals 8. Now, graphically, what does this thing look like? If I show you this graphically, I have x equals -7/2 right here. That's a vertical line. Then I want another vertical line at -5. That's x equals -5. They are clearly parallel. And then at 8, I'm going to have a horizontal line to be perpendicular to that at y equals 8. Okay, so you can see graphically why it works out, and then I showed you algebraically as well. So let's keep going. I say, given the equation 5y plus 2 is equal to 8y, find the parallel line. So I'm going to go ahead and take this equation, and I'm going to solve it. So I have 5y plus 2 is equal to 8y. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 5y. So I have 2 is equal to 3y. So divide by 3, and 2/3 is equal to y. Now, there's only one letter in there. Since there's only one letter in there, my mind needs to go same letter, opposite letter. Well, what am I talking about here? I am talking about parallel. So parallel means same letter. So that means I have y equals, and what does y equal in this ordered pair? Y is equal to negative 12. So therefore, the parallel line to this is going to be y equals negative 12. Now, with that being said, this time we want the perpendicular line. Well, what does perpendicular mean? Perpendicular means opposite letter. So the opposite letter to y is going to be x, and what does x equal in this ordered pair? X is equal to 9. And again, that makes sense. If you want me to show you graphically, here's x, here's y. This is going to be y is equal to 2/3, that's right there. Then I have y is equal to negative 12 right here. And then I'm going to have x is equal to 9 right there. And you can see that that's perpendicular. Okay? So that is given the special cases whenever you're going to have parallel and perpendicular lines with just one letter in the equation. So what happens whenever I don't have just one letter? Whenever I don't have just one letter, here's some steps that we have to follow. Take the given equation and solve it for y. Find the slope, and then you're going to find either the parallel or perpendicular, whatever the direction states you to do. Use the new slope and the point that was given to find the new equation. Plug and chug into your equation. Here's the equations you can plug and chug into. Y equals mx plus b or point slope formula. Check the slopes for the parallels, meaning they have the same slope. And then at the end, check for perpendicular, meaning they're negative reciprocals. So let's go ahead and do an example here. It says find the equation of the line that is parallel to 10x plus 4y is equal to negative 8 through the point negative 2, 1. Now, if you look at our equation has both x and y in it. So therefore, I know that my parallel line is going to have both x and y in it as well. So I need to take this equation, which is going to be 10x plus 4y is equal to negative 8, and I'm going to solve that for y. So I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. So 4y is equal to negative 10x minus 8. Then I'm going to divide each and every term by 4. So y is equal to, I'm going to reduce my fraction. Divide them both by 2, that gives you negative 5 over 2x minus 2. Okay, now, that is the equation solved for y. That's not my answer. What I need out of that equation is the slope. So I'm going to just pull the slope out of that equation, which is just this number right here. So my slope is negative 5 over 2. Now I need to come back over here and say, oh, well, I need the parallel slope. So now what is the parallel slope to negative 5 over 2? Parallel means same slope, so that's negative 5 over 2. Okay? Now I'm going to use the point that they gave us, which is negative 2, 1, and now I'm going to plug in to one of my formulas. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. This is x, this is y. So y is 1, m is negative 5 over 2, x is negative 2 plus b. A double negative creates a positive. The 2's cancel out, and I'm left with 5 plus b. Subtract the 5. Negative 4 is equal to b. So that means that my parallel line is going to be y is equal to my parallel slope, negative 5 over 2x, and then my b value that I just found. That is your parallel line. Now, you can do a couple things to check to make sure that you are right. What do I mean by that? I can check this slope against this slope. They're the same. I know I did it right. I can check this y-intercept with this y-intercept and show that they are different because parallel lines have the same slope but different y-intercepts. Yes? So they have different y-intercepts. They never intersect at the same place. Okay? So with that being said, I have proven that they have the same slope, different y-intercepts, and I'm good to go. Okay? Next, find the equation of the line that is perpendicular. So this is perpendicular to the line y minus 4 equals negative 2x minus 6. What do I need your brain to notice here? That there's both x and y in the equation. So with that being said, I'm going to solve this thing for y. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Y is equal to negative 2x minus 2. Now, what do I need out of there? I need that slope. So my slope is negative 2. But now I need to identify what the problem is asking for. The problem is asking for a perpendicular slope. So my perpendicular slope is the opposite of negative, which is positive, and then the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. And then I'm going to use the point that they give, which is 2, 3. I'm going to do the same process all over again. So y is equal to mx plus b. I label this x, I label this y. So I have 3 is equal to 1/2 times 2 plus b. The 2's cancel out. 3 is equal to 1 plus b. Subtract 1. 2 is equal to b. So my perpendicular line is simply going to be y is equal to my perpendicular slope and then plus my b value. Now, I need to do a double check here. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to say, okay, well, this is my slope. It's -2. So if I'm perpendicular, then I should have the opposite reciprocal, which is going to be 1/2. I know my slopes are opposite reciprocals. The lines are indeed perpendicular. Same concept. Do it again. First thing we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, my equation that I'm given has both x and y. So step 1, what do I do? You said take the equation and solve for y. That is correct. So 4x plus 2y is equal to 7. So 2y is equal to -4x plus 7. Divide each and every term by 2. Y is equal to -2x plus 7 over 2. What do I need out of that equation? If you answered the slope, you are correct. So that's going to be my slope is -2. So now the next thing I need to do is figure out what is the equation asking for. It's asking for my parallel line. Parallel means I want the same slope. So that's -2. And I'm going to use the point for -2. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the other formula just so that you can see that you can use it. This is x1, y1. And I'm going to plug in what I know. Y stays, y1 is -2, m is -2, x stays, and x1 is going to be 4. And I'm going to simply solve for y. Double negative is a positive. Distribute -2x plus 8. Subtract the 2. Y is equal to -2x plus 6. That is my parallel line. I don't have to substitute anything else in. I need to do a double check. What am I double checking? I'm comparing their slopes. Oopsie, did not mean to erase that. I'm comparing their slopes. Are my slopes the same? Yes, they are. Are my y-intercepts different? Yes, they are. So that means I am correct. Now, next, this says find the equation of the line through the point -5, 6 parallel to the equations containing the points -5, 4 and -4, 0. Time out. I don't have an equation. What did they give me instead? Well, what they gave me instead were 2 points. That's completely fine because my goal is I just need the slope. So all I have to do is find the slope of that line. So that my slope is going to be 0 minus 4, -4 minus -5. So that's -4 over 1. So my slope is -4. Well, that's easy. Because now I want to say, well, what am I asking for? They're asking for a parallel line, which means a parallel line requires you to have a parallel slope. So my parallel slope is the same, and I'm going to use the point that they give me. So I'm going to use the same formula that we just used last time. And that means I'm labeling my point x1, y1. So y minus 6 is equal to -4 times x minus a -5. A double negative creates a positive, so I have y minus 6 is equal to -4x minus 20. Add the 6 over, and I get y is equal to -4x minus 14. That is my parallel line. How do I check? Parallel have the same slope, and that's all I need to worry about here because I don't have the physical equation. So that is done. Last example, same exact thing. How do I know that? I'm going to go ahead and show you. I give you the same exact problem with the same exact points, but this time I want the perpendicular slope. Okay, well, I already did the slope over here, didn't I? So now all I need to do is say, well, what is my perpendicular slope? Well, my perpendicular slope is the opposite of negative, which is positive, and then the reciprocal of 4, which is going to be 1/4. And then I'm going to choose a point. It doesn't matter which point you choose. So it does matter, sorry. I'm given this point. Please forgive me. I'm given this point. I no longer need to worry about these right here because I got it from here, okay? So, come on. So my perpendicular slope is going to be positive 1/4, okay? And I'm going to use the point that they give us, negative 5, 6. Now with that said, I'm going to go ahead and do y equals mx plus b. Labeling this x, labeling this y. Y is 6, m is 1/4, x is negative 5 plus b. So 6 is equal to negative 5 over 4 plus b. Now many of you do not like fractions. So remember how we got rid of fractions before? We multiplied by the denominator. So we're going to multiply this entire thing by 4. So that's 24 is equal to negative 5. The 4's cancel out, plus 4b. Add the 5, and I have 29 is equal to 4b. Divide by 4, and I have 29 over 4 is equal to b. So my perpendicular line is y is equal to my slope, which is 1/4, x, plus my b value, which is 29 over 4. So how do I check that I'm right? Well, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to say, okay, this is my slope and this is my parallel slope. So I need to make sure that they're opposite reciprocals, and they are. So tonight's homework is 2-4 worksheet 4. I will go ahead and start that for you momentarily.